I knew something was wrong the moment I stepped into that bar. It wasn't the noise, the music, or the crowd. It was her laugh, my wife's laugh, cutting through the chatter like a sharp blade. A laugh I used to love, now echoing in a place where it didn't belong. And it wasn't meant for me. Emily had told me she was going out for a girls' night. She said she needed to let off some steam, and I trusted her. I always trusted her. But an old friend texted me that he'd seen her at the Blue Lantern, a place she never mentioned. A bar, yes, but not the kind you'd go to with girlfriends. It was dim, smoky, filled with the type of men who lived for cheap whiskey and women who weren't their wives. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe her friends changed the plan last minute. Maybe she was just there to dance. Maybe I was being paranoid. But then I walked in, and the world as I knew it shifted. She was at the counter, leaning too close to another man. His hand rested on her thigh like it belonged there. And worse, she wasn't pushing it away. Froze. My chest burned, my throat closed up, and my heart pounded so hard I could barely hear the music anymore. For a moment I thought I might faint. I could have turned around and left. Pretended I never saw it. Saved myself the humiliation. But something inside me, something primal, forced me forward. Emily. Her name came out sharp, a blade across the air. She whipped around, her face drained of color. The man beside her smirked, like he'd been caught stealing candy but didn't regret it. Michael, she stammered, sliding off the bar stool. I can explain. Explain what? My voice shook, but I held her eyes. That you're out here with another man. That you let him put his hands on you while I'm at home thinking you're with your friends. The bar had quieted around us. People were watching, whispers weaving through the air. She reached for me, but I stepped back. Her touch felt poisonous. Please, it's not what it looks like. Her words came fast, desperate. We were just talking. Talking. Snap. That's what you call it. Talking with his hand halfway up your skirt. The man laughed under his breath, leaning back casually as if this was all some kind of show. And that's when something inside me broke. I turned to him, my voice low and steady. You enjoy playing with another man's wife? He shrugged. Hey man, if she didn't want it, she wouldn't be here. Emily's face twisted with shame and panic. Stop it, Michael, please. No, my voice rose, cutting through the room. You don't get to please me anymore. You lied to me. You told me you were with your friends. Instead, you're here letting some stranger touch you like I don't exist. Her eyes glistened with tears, but I felt nothing for them. Not sympathy. Not pity. Just emptiness. I pulled my wedding ring off my finger, the weight of it suddenly unbearable. Here, I said, slamming it down on the bar counter in front of her. The sound was like a gunshot in the silence. Since you don't seem to care what this means anymore, you can keep it. The room held its breath. People stared, some whispering, some just frozen. Emily's lips trembled. Michael, don't do this here. Please, let's talk about it. Talk. My laugh came out hollow. You had your chance to talk. Instead, you chose this. I looked at the man, then back at her. If this is what you want, you can have it. But don't come home tonight. Don't come back at all. Her knees buckled like I'd struck her. She reached out again, tears spilling freely now. Michael, I made a mistake. It didn't mean anything. I stepped back once more, putting distance between us. My voice was cold, final. It meant everything. Because you crossed a line you can't uncross. And then I turned and walked out. The entire bar was silent behind me, all eyes on the man who had just left his wife in the ruins of her choices. The night air hit me like a slap. My chest heaved, my stomach churned, and I barely made it to my car before the tears came. Not loud, not dramatic, just silent, shaking sobs that ripped through me. I had loved her. God, I had loved her with everything I had. I worked late nights to provide for us. I gave her flowers on random Tuesdays. I held her when she cried about things that didn't even matter. I trusted her. And she chose to throw it away for a thrill at a bar. I didn't go home that night. Couldn't. I checked into a cheap motel, staring at the ceiling until dawn, replaying everything over and over in my head. Her laugh, his hand, my ring on the bar. She texted me, of course. Dozens of messages. Please answer. I'm sorry, it didn't mean anything. Can we talk? Please, Michael, I love you. But every word felt hollow. Love doesn't look like that. Love doesn't lie. Love doesn't sneak around in the dark. The next morning I went back to the house, not to see her, but to gather what I needed. She was there, sitting on the couch, eyes swollen from crying. Michael, she whispered, standing as if she'd been waiting all night. Please, just listen. I held up a hand. I don't need your excuses. I saw everything I needed to see. She shook her head violently. No, you don't understand. I was drunk, I wasn't thinking straight. I love you. I don't want to lose you. I stared at her for a long moment, my heart aching. You already lost me, Emily. Last night, when you let someone else touch you like I didn't matter, that's when you lost me. Her sobs filled the room, but I felt detached, like I was watching it all from the outside. I'll have papers drawn up, I said finally. You can keep the house if you want. I don't care. I just want out. Her face crumpled, her hands reaching toward me as if she could hold on to something already gone. But there was nothing left to hold. It's been months since that night. People still talk about it. How the bar went silent, how I left my ring on the counter and walked away without looking back. They call it legendary, like it was some kind of performance. But it wasn't. It was the most painful moment of my life. Because behind the silence and the shock, there was just me, a man who loved his wife too much and lost her in a single shattering instant. And though the world thinks my reaction was speechless and powerful, the truth is simpler. I didn't do it to prove a point. I didn't do it for the crowd. I did it because when the person you love most crosses the line, sometimes the only choice you have left is to walk away.